To go out and about in China, people need an app.
And essentially, it gives them a rating of green, red, or yellow, and that dictates whether they can go out and move around.
Sophia Richardson is with Human Rights Watch. She says the app is mandatory and tracked by the government.
It's also the case that certain kinds of facilities, including some residential complexes, require that you show a green code on your phone to be able to enter. It's the case with public transportation, too, and getting into certain kinds of public buildings.
Temperature taking is also part of the daily routine. Along with the app, it's raising privacy concerns.
It's also very unclear to us what's going to happen with all of this data once the pandemic is over.
That would not float here at all. Are you kidding me? People won't even stay indoors.
China, communist country, I feel like what they say goes, but in our democracy, the people have to say.
I don't think that's ever going to happen in the U.S.
Here, apps are not mandatory, but some companies are working on contact tracing using our cell phones, including a joint venture between Apple and Google. Apple and Google are helping app developers use Bluetooth technology. These graphics provided by the companies show how it would work. People will be close enough to one another where Bluetooth on their phones will share data. If one of them tests positive for COVID-19 and enters the result in their app, the other person and the health officials would be notified. Apple and Google say user consent is required. It doesn't collect or use location data from your phone. Bluetooth connection won't reveal user identity or location. The user controls the data they want to share. People who test positive are not identified to other users, Google or Apple, and the info will only be used for exposure notification by public health authorities.
We've never been good at limiting technology to only the thing it was initially designed for.
Mary Catherine Roper is with the ACLU of Pennsylvania. She's not sold on the apps.
I don't trust some giant company to keep my information private. I don't know when they're going to share it with governments, to what extent they're going to share it with governments. I don't know if they're going to sell it to somebody who sees that I have made a visit to a particular kind of store and suddenly in my Google feed, I'm going to start seeing ads for that kind of product.
For cybersecurity purposes, I would be against it.
That stuff doesn't really bother me too much. I'm all for being more safe.
I think that's a touchy subject with a lot of people. And I think it's how much information you want people to know.
When it comes to getting their temperature taken to enter a public place or get into where you work, people seem to be on board.
I want my temperature taken.
That wouldn't really bother me. Do that kind of stuff when you go to the doctor and whatnot.
I even posed it as a requirement that before people come into the workplace at my current job, that their temperature should be taken.
You should have a lot of questions when somebody comes at you with a thermal scan.
Roper says you should ask what's going to happen with that data.
What are you doing with that information? Are you storing that information? Are you forbidding me from coming to work on the basis of that information?
Bottom line, health experts and government leaders say to reopen, they need this type of information.
If we want to open the economy and actually open the, to some kind of relatively new normal, then I would say, people should be willing to have their temperature taken.
For the investigators, I'm Mitch Blacher, NBC10 News.